This is Lock Lover, and today I'm going to attempt to pick a Mul-T-Lock Interactive, which is a 5-pin telescoping pin system. The key pins are telescoping and the driver pins are telescoping. So you have an outer pin and an inner pin, top and bottom, for a total of 20 pins. Obviously we'll only be dealing with the bottom pins, which is 5 inner and outers, which is a total of 10 pins. The interactive pin gets lifted by an interactive element on the key, which lifts it higher than the cut of the keyway. Do not have a key for this lock. I would like to have a key for it. I could show you how it works, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to try and lift the interactive key pin high enough to get a little bit of core movement. There we go. Okay, so now that we have our interactive pin set, we're going to go through here and find our first binding outer, which one is giving us counter rotation. A little bit out of one. Get over the ball bearing, which is part of the interactive system. Pin 3. Give me a little bit of play. We'll skip him. A little click out of 4. 5. Come back. We'll do inner pin 1. Check our interactive, which is way up in there. And check our inner pin 1 again. Give a slight core movement. And a really deep false set now. Go through here and check our inner pins so we can get to them. I believe we're getting a little bit out of 3 here. Just can't quite get it. Trying to get past 3 here on this side. Whoops. I believe the inner of 3 is set. Inner of 5. It must be 4, giving us a little bit of trouble. It's easy to overset an inner pin. Have a little bit of a, I really wouldn't call it a counter milling, but they have a lip on top of them that will catch into the driver. Check on this interactive. Lost a little bit of our false set. trying to overset the inner pins that are already set, hoping that you get them to release. These are definitely not a trivial pick, nothing to scoff at, however they are a lot of fun. Okay, got a little bit of our false set back. I believe we may have something overset. Just trap my pick. I'm going to release a little bit of tension. Okay, I heard something drop. Got a good bit of core movement again. Let's see if we can find that inner pin. Normally just one pin holding you up when you get to deep false set like this. Come from, let's see, come from this side. Check our interactive there. Try to get over that ball bearing and into 3. There we go. We have got an open. Alright, that's definitely not my quickest time, but I will tell you they are a semi-difficult lock. There's no doubt about it, especially if you only got one to practice on. You know, you would think you would learn the bitting after a while, and you kind of do learn the order, but it's just the inner key pins, the way they can get hung up, really throws a curveball at you. Okay, so let me readjust the camera here. And I will gut this thing. I know this lock in particular, I've actually picked it a few times relatively fast when I'd first gotten it, and I was quite surprised. But as they say, beginner's luck. I would say that definitely came into play. Each time I picked it after that, it became harder, if you can figure that out. Do not have a key to this, so I am not going to lock it back up. I will, however, zoom in just a little bit. Whoops, wrong way. I will do my best to keep everything in frame right here for you. Pop the clip off the back. Whoops, I locked it back up. Let me go for a screwdriver here. That's not going to do it, is it? tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to trap everything right there. Okay. Alright, there we go. You have to pay attention on the back, make sure you don't get anything caught up when you take it apart. I have done that once. That is definitely too big. I've got one more here. That'll do it. Let's see, my key pins are up top. Okay. Pour all the way and flip these around. I'll take the inners out of the outers. Okay, let's see what we have upstairs. This is going to be 1, I believe. Yes. What's interesting is the drivers are captive. Meaning they don't come apart. They're spring loaded. On the inside there's a spring. Very neat. That one's a spool. And the last one. Dump the springs out now. All the springs are stock, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it all at once here. I'm really not quite sure what the difference between a regular interactive and an interactive plus is, other than I've been told or I've read, I can't remember, that there may be some counter milling. With the core here, there's absolutely no counter milling whatsoever. The only thing that is in here that's different is a ball bearing that is right down in here, that is spring loaded. You can't see it from the opposite side though. That's what pushes up on the interactive element that lifts that key pin right there. And as far as the upper or the Bible goes, there's no counter milling in it. Now let me get a close up of the pins here for you guys. zoom out here. Okay. Get a pointer here. Key pin 3 is serrated, and key pin 5 is serrated. Driver 5, 4, 3, and 1 are spools, so there are no mushrooms in this particular lock. And these are your inner pins that fit into the outer pins. And like I said, the drivers, they're captive. They don't come apart. Don't know if I can try to work this here one-handed to show you. You can kind of see there how it's spring-loaded. One thing to note, that if you can see in the video here, it's kind of hard to tell, but there is a groove that's cut on these inner pins of the drivers, and they will get hung up either on the shear line here or on a key pin. Sometimes you will take these apart. Well, I'm acting like I'm an expert here, but I found on pulling this one apart several times that unpicked, if you just drop everything out of the top here, unpicked, that they will be locked together. That little groove right there, I guess, gets stuck down in the key pin. None of the key pins are counter milled as far as I could tell, except for I think pin 2 for the interactive portion. Yeah, nothing's counter milled as far as I can tell. I could be wrong. If you know for sure, leave a comment. Okay. That's pretty much it for this lock. Like I said, if you haven't had a chance to pick an MTL, a junior, a classic, an interactive, whatever, the pin and pin system is it is a very, very fun pick. I highly recommend it. The juniors, they can be had for about $35, brand new. Pick yourself up one, get you a set of dimple picks. Oh, another thing I ought to show is the actual picks. You know, your normal dimple pick is going to look something like this, but you have to have something that will fit up inside of the hole here to set your inners. So what a lot of the guys are doing on the subreddit and the Discord, and I'm sure if you hang out on Key Picking or anywhere else, we've modified these picks, thinned them out a good bit, got a certain height here and width, and that way it can fit right up inside of the outer pin to set the inner pins. I got this spec, I guess you would say, the specs of this pick from a good guy on the Discord or subreddit, lock picking. I'm sure he would share it with you. I just don't want to share his information with somebody else. I'm sure you can find it on your own. Thank you.